Well, you want to be the best. You can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
And a good Tuesday evening to all of you watching on the Elite Racing Network as we are set round number 2 of the 2021 Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modifieds. Along with Michael Goodman, I'm Connor Sullivan, getting ready for a little racing action from Thunder Valley Bristol Motor Speedway. As season got up to a very sterling start 1 week ago at the Iowa Speedway. Michael, Tyler Fody, who's a very familiar name on Elite Racing, getting his first win in a modified.
Yeah, he's had a really excellent week. He won his first IndyCar race on Friday too, so he's figuring out these open wheel cars pretty quick. And as I kind of anointed him on Friday, he's got some raw talent to beat the likes of Brandon Wilkinson as we see practice just winding up and Wilkinson on top of the leaderboard. But now they're getting ready to qualify. But yeah, Fody had a great week this last week, and I expect him to do the same. I think he was P2 right behind Wilkinson, so that might be a battle we can look forward to all season long, especially maybe here tonight at Bristol.
Yep, and just to review, again, it was Fody, the winner last week at the Iowa Speedway. Ryan Gavel coming home in second position, and it was Mitch Junowski who rounded out the podium, while Brandon Wilkinson, he had to settle for fourth place, the defending Elite Modified Tour champion, with Jay Kaner rounding out the top 5. So bit of an unexpected result, like perhaps you could say, to start things off.
Yeah, I would say usually, you're expected to see Wilkinson towards the front and him to be kind of mired back there after, I believe he was up there during the beginning portions of the race, but choosing pit stops, and I believe it was Gavel and Fody that stayed out on old tires and barely making it on fuel. So we'll see, even if tonight, if that same thing kind of overlaps into Bristol, if they're going to need to maybe stretch fuel, if they can make it on one stop, or maybe even two.
Qualifying on track now as we got about 3.5 minutes to go. Brandon Wilkinson currently the fastest with I believe that's a 14.286 up there. So these are some of the fastest lap times you'll see. See Eric Stout, Brian Carmez, Mark Keeler, who I forgot to mention last week, was the only full-time member of the Speed 51 crew to escape any wrecks out there as well. And interesting note, speaking of Speed 51, Ryan Gavel being named to the new Hacksaw Motorsports team. It's a collection of some people with some Speed 51 ties out there, except for our good colleague Zach Evans, because according to him, I think, he's too good for them.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on, Zach. Oh, man. Me and him always have some awesome battles in the Elite Racing League, so I might have to blow him a little smoke about that.
although that might have been more Brandon Paul's take than as well. But hey, this is the Northeast, at least from where I am, and this is modified country, so that's a good. Although, just for the record, Brandon Paul thinks that modifieds are overpowered go-karts.
Oh, come on!
To a good start here tonight.
Yeah, overpowered go-karts, man. These things, I'll tell you what, they're harder than they maybe even look to drive. You know, we talked about needing draft at a track like Iowa, and even tonight, I'm assuming that's going to be a big factor in the in on this track as well. So I mean, it's something you usually don't see with most stock cars. You don't see draft coming into play. So yeah, there's just a lot of different elements that you get in a modified, even at a shorter track like a Bristol.
Yeah, especially at Bristol. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens tonight because Bristol, unlike Iowa, you don't have the long straightaways. And again, you got these super long, super high banked corners where if you get too big a run going into somebody on the corner and you get into their back bumper, you better make sure that you hit them squarely or you're going to spin the guy in front of you, cause a big wreck, and you're probably going to the end of the line.
Yeah, and I gotta wonder too. I know I've driven here in these modifieds in iRacing, and I can't remember, but I know a lot of cars that aren't like your traditional NASCAR stock cars. It's almost hard to see coming out of the corner because their windshields are a lot smaller. So sometimes if there's a wreck if you're coming out of 4 and there's a wreck right on the front stretch, you might not be able to see it, and then bang, you're right involved in it too. So there's a lot of craziness that can happen, and even these lap times too. We look at it right now. Wilkinson on pole with the 14.2. That's quite a bit faster than what most of the NASCAR stock cars run on this track.
Yep, indeed. Even in the real world, in the modifieds also, they ran restricted engines. They also ran some slightly higher rear spoilers in the years that they ran Bristol. I think it was about 8 or 9 or so. Of course, the last Wheel and Modified Tour event was held at Bristol back in 2018. So kind of sad to see them go, but unfortunately, it was just a little bit too much of a logistical challenge for the teams out there. But my goodness, did they leave their marks on Bristol with some absolutely spectacular racing.
Oh man,
qualifying is in the books.
Qualifying in the books. We'll check out our starting grid here. And Brandon Wilkinson able to hang on to the pole, and last week's winner, Tyler Fode, is going to be starting right alongside him in second.
Mitch Jernowski, who ironically is starting where he finished on last week. He'll start P3, and Chad Frankenfield in the 4th position to his outside.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. We didn't hear much of him last week, and Cisco in 5th, Mandonia in 6th. And then you see Ramses and Gavel round out your next row. We'll keep looking through the field here as the field's gridding up, getting ready to go. And, kind of surprised to see Austin Beers, a short track kid, real-life modified driver, mired back in 13th position.
Yep. Again, iRacing, it's a bit of a different game. And Bristol, it's definitely a lot different than any real-world track he's run. I think high bank track. Holland Speedway, New York is pretty fast, although I'm not sure if he's been up there yet with the thing that is called COVID-19 absolutely scrambling all the racing schedules last year, especially in the state of New York, where it decimated the Race of Champions series schedule. And that is, of course, the series where Beers runs on.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I never realized what series he ran in there too. But I know a lot of his plans got hampered last year by COVID-19, and glad to see him hopefully racing more here in 2021 and stuff starting to open up. We see more of these short track events going on, and even for you to be able to work at some of these for Speed 51.
Yeah, it's really been great. We got a big week coming up here. I've got 3 events that I'll be doing, including one tomorrow night, which is going to have modifieds, where it'll be at Thompson Speedway in the northeast corner of Connecticut tomorrow. Of course, a very popular iRacing track too. The 5/8 mile high banked oval. 6 o'clock post time for heat racing. We'll be live on speed51.tv. We'll have 6 divisions racing, including the Outlaw Open Modified Series, the 6-race series that's running at Thompson this year, for tomorrow's Nutmeg State 75.
Ooh, that sounds like a good time there. And tonight we have 100 laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And Brandon Wilkinson on the pole. I believe we're just about a half a lap or 3/4 a lap, I guess, from going green flag racing. Any early predictions on who do you think is going to end up in victory lane here tonight?
I know it's quite the effort to drive defensively for 100 laps, but I think Brandon Wilkinson is going to be the man to get it done. I think he's going to be a little determined after coming on fourth last week, and even if he falls back, look for him to easily get back to the front as waiting now for the pace car to drop off. There it goes. Field in the hands of the stars, and we are green. And it is indeed Brandon Wilkinson who gets the jump into turn one. And here comes Drunowski to the inside for second.
Yeah, Drunowski getting a good jump on that inside line, really being able to go. But I don't think anyone could have matched Wilkinson's jump there. Big lead he got on the inside row. Fody will fall back into third. Most of the top front runners are single filing out as he thinks getting settled in here, trying not to get too aggressive too soon here.
Yep, you don't want to be too aggressive too early. You want to get some heat into the tires and get some to rubber into the track. And we see, Drunowski, though, he's going to make a move to the inside.
Wow. Oh, man.
Drunowski taking the short way around. You know, this is the older Bristol. This is pre-PJ1 here, too. So this is a track where you can run anywhere. At least you could with the modifieds back in the day. You could run low, middle, or high. Well, maybe not too high or else you'd be up in the wall.
So I got to ask, in the real world modifieds, what does the PJ1, how does that affect the modifieds in the real world?
It absolutely eats their tires, especially at New Hampshire Motor Speedway where they use the PJ1s. We see the yellow flying now on lap number 5.
Maybe we'll see if we can find out what happened.
Yep, and continuing what I was saying about the PJ1, it's definitely throwing the teams for a loop. It's really forced Hoosier Racing Tires, who supplies the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour with their tires, to really do their homework over the last couple of years, especially with all the speeds that they carry at New Hampshire and even at Bristol, of course, for the final year that he did. To see, a little bit of ping pong action.
Wow.
Oh, my!
On his side. And I think if there was PJ1 up here at Bristol, I don't think it'd be all the way up against the wall.
No, it wouldn't. The only place that they run the PJ1 is right along the apron of the track, just enough to dip those left side tires into.
So yeah, that brings out the first caution. That was the 021 of Eric Stout wall riding, making contact with the 2 car of Jeff Green. So that will bring out the early incident. But it looks like, let's see here. Thanks, Stout.
Yeah, tell you what, that was very reminiscent of Casey Kane's crash at Bristol in the what was then the NASCAR Nationwide Series about a little over 10 years ago now, I'd say.
Oh, I got it. Was that the Great Clips machine?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
wow.
good, goody.
Yeah, I'm digging out of the old memory bank there. Sometimes I surprise myself.
Yep. So a couple of cars on pit roads, but a little bit early for the pit stops here as get a look at the running order. Drunowski, your leader. Wilkinson second. Fody, your winner a week ago and current points leader. In third with Chad Frankenfield and Kyle Sisko, rather. Sorry, Kyle, rounding out the top 5, as I believe lights are off on the pace car? Nope. They are not. Let's see if they are this time. They are doubling up. And nope.
Yep, they're out now. It might be hard to see on his screen here, so that just bear with us. He's working with a little bit smaller screen than I am.
Still bigger than last week, though. I got to give you some credit, some goodies. So
we're working out. We're getting there.
Yep. Again, thanks to all y'all at the Elite Racing Network for having me on. It's been a while since I've had a chance to do any kind of an iRacing broadcast. Did a couple when Speed 51 was doing some last year as well. So great to be on board as waiting for the pace car to make the big dive off the banking. There it goes. It's Drunowski in control this time. Green is out, and Drunowski gets the launch off on the inside, but Wilkinson, though, he's able to hang in the outsides this time around.
Yeah, Drunowski wasn't able to pull away as far ahead as Wilkinson did on the start, but he makes contact with the wall, rides up a little bit, but hey, keeps on trucking. How about that?
Boy, we're going to have to see if he did any major damage to that car, but early indications are that he's good to go. As we see Wilkinson staying within eye distance. Again, it's very hard to make a getaway with these cars with the speeds they're pulling. But the way the draft works is we see a battle from behind. Cisco trying to get to the inside of Tyler Fode.
Yeah, he's working on Fode, and even behind them, looks like Rasmus and Mandonia battling for that 6th and 7th position. Right now, the outside line seeming to be the better line to go in, as Rasmus in the 70 will be able to clear Mandonia, and he'll pull on and get 6th. And we have another caution.
Oh, so we saw a car to the inside. Gonna be very interesting to see who can get the outside to work for them tonight. And it looks like
That might be
Jesse Rasmus is the first one, as we see car on pit roads there.
Let's see if he was involved. Try to find it on a replay. Oh, 2 cars heavily damaged. And I rewound too far back, so we gotta go. Now I went too far again. We're getting there. Here we go. And we'll see what happened. As it was between Mark Keeler and Vincent Isabella. Ooh, Isabella, hard hit.
And Mark gets collected in that one. Although, I will say, not his own doing there. As see a lot of damage there. I wonder what got that one fired off. I guess we'll find out here shortly.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see what started that with Vincent Isabella. Oh, Jeff Green was involved in the first one. Making a little contact here. Not making friends here tonight. Oh.
We see another car that got collected in that.
I believe that was Jonathan Sanford in the 212 machine, but it looks like he's still staying out on track, so not a lot of damage for him as he's still pacing around, but looks like Vincent Isabella and Keeler may be done for the night as they're still on pit road, so tough breaks for Isabella and Keeler, who really, both of them had nothing really to do. They're just kind of a victim of circumstances there. Might have to give Jeff Green the Naughty Boy Award here.
A lot of aggression so far from the 2000 NASCAR Busch Series champion.
Yeah, we might
always good to have him in the house though for elite racing event.
Oh yeah, he's usually a pretty clean competitor. And pretty nice guy also, but hey Jeff, these cars don't have fenders. You can't run it like you used to. So Jeff Green.
I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We gotta see if we can get Bobby Labonte in for one of these.
Man.
One of these times. He's been, of course, doing a lot of racing with the Smart Modified Tour down in the Southeast, and he's come so close to a couple of wins. A couple of times has been denied a couple of times, usually not by his own doing, but he's been knocking on the door though, and just looking forward to seeing him back in a Modified this fall. Of course, right now he's in the midst of the SRX schedule.
Yeah, so he's kind of dipping out of his comfort zone a little bit, I do believe. I don't know if he ran much Modifieds, as we are back green flag racing here on lap 18. Drunowski getting a good jump here. And look at Fode on the inside. He looked like he was going to take a look from Wilkinson, but looks like Fode on the inside line. Oh,
Wilkinson up in the wall, but he's able to keep his foot in. They are side by side. So I'm behind him. Fode on the inside, and Rasmus on the inside.
I think that's Cisco. Oh, he's blinking.
Yep.
We'll look at. Oh, and there's heavy contact. Chad Frankenfield involved. Oh, man, Jeff Green, there he gets involved as well. So, man,
It's the big one. It's the Bristol big one, which we have seen with the Modifieds a couple times with the packs that they run in, and Bristol being as narrow a track it is, especially on the straightaways, it is very easy for things to stack up. So that'll be our third caution here as we work lap number 25.
Yeah, it just must be something about Bristol. Last week at Iowa, it was relatively clean for much of the race.
I think we only had 2 cautions last week.
Yeah, and we're already surpassed that. It was 2, maybe 3 at the most. And it seems like these cars, especially on the restart, seem to be a little unstable, as we've seen quite a few cars making contact with the wall. And maybe this is what happened. Looks like.
I think old Chad, he he didn't know there was anybody up there, and he drifted up and
made some. I want to take one more look and see. I know these modifieds have a pretty big bubble, and it just kind of maybe he didn't really kind of drifted up the track.
If that was Ryan Gavel he got into, so Gavel after his runner-up last week, definitely his chances have taken a serious hit tonight.
And then Canfield will take a peek at what his ride was through here, and we can maybe even go on the in-car view. As it was kind of the big one ahead of him as cars are flipping, and Jeff Green gets in the inside wall. And, oh, man.
He had it dodged, and then, unfortunately, Jeff Green kind of getting squared up there as he spins around. So, definitely been a hectic one here. Is again just 23 laps complete now to correct myself from earlier. Small screen, like you were saying.
Yes, small screen. Lap 23 of 100. Some of these cars getting some work done on pit road. Some cars that are already out. Jeff Green, Vincent Isabella, Keeler, and Joshua Personette already out for the evening. It looks like Chad Frankenfield looked like he had some heavy damage. You see the front bar there on the modified bent up a little bit. So I don't know how well he's running. Gavel, I'm surprised he was out there too. He was off the ground there, and actually his car doesn't appear to be too damaged, but there's got to maybe be some terminal damage inside his number 12 machine there.
Yep, so looks like about the top 14 are about the only guys that have gotten unscathed so far, and see Austin Beers, he might have even gotten a piece of that too.
Yeah, his car looks clean. Yeah, he's about in that 14th position. Yeah, I would say even ahead of him and Brian Kramer in that 61. I thought I saw him maybe getting a little contact involved, and that was almost the equivalent, as you said, the big one, as we are now coming to one lap to go to green. So it's been a wild one so far, and still quite a few cars left on lead lap. I think Gavel now is 1 lap down. Canfield, he is 2 laps down, but they are still out there trying to get some points, because you never know the way this one's going. He could be could salvage a good night.
Tell you what, Bristol too, there's no such thing as a little wreck at Bristol. Seen some modified charters back in the day. They had some really big hits there, and those Bristol races had some effects on some of the championships there. So it looks like we're going to go one more lap. Of course, Doug Obie, he won, the man who won the first ever race for the SRX back on Saturday night, said his home from our Speedway, 6-time NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour champion. I think during one of his championship runs, he had a hard wreck at Bristol that nearly derailed one of those championship runs. Too, really kind of sent him scrambling the rest of the year, and his in the Mike Smaringaleo team that he was driving for at the time scrambling as well. So Bristol, just an unforgiving track. I don't care what series you are running in.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Larry Mack always said, you got to check your feelings at the gate when you come to Bristol, but we are going back green flag racing here on lap 27. Drunowski's still holding on to that lead as he gets a pretty good jump, but don't look now. Oop, behind them, Kyle Sisko's trying to look on the inside of the 56 of Wilkinson, and he will get by, so put Kyle Sisko and now Fody up into the third as Wilkinson, kind of surprisingly, losing some ground here on the restart.
Well, Kyle Sisko, he has been the biggest mover of the front runners so far. After he kind of started in the middle of the top 10, he's making some good ground there as we see some side-by-side action behind.
Let's see if we can get...
It's Sisko. Uh-oh. He's starting to wink it. Unfortunately, he's winking out a little bit there, so hopefully his internet connection won't be his ultimate downfall tonight as we see a battle there for the...
It's for the 7th spot between Andrew Rucker and Jack... is it Ellie? I think I mispronounced it last week. Ely.
Yep.
So Rucker getting that run on the top side, currently able to hold off Ely so far, but Jack able to hold on strong on that inside, and man, this one's... Oh, as Rasmus ahead of him gets into that wall, so we've seen a lot of drivers having issues coming out of the corners. I don't know if the setup's tight or maybe they're getting a little squirrely up into the wall. Again getting in the wall, rides up the wall. Man,
Oh, man.
Rasmus,
Oh, wow.
That's Rasmus. Yeah, he's maybe trying to regain his composure there. He's going for some wild
He's
ride.
got damage. He's got damage. I think he's going to have to pull it off here, but kind of undid what was a really good battle between those two.
That's actually look ahead here. Talk about Cisco. He moved up into the top spot.
Yep, while all that chaos was going on, give the second lead change of the night to Kyle Cisco. As Drunowski now he has his hands full with Tyler Fode. Is Fode trying to make the inside run work? But I'll tell you what, though, Goody, that middle line is starting to come into effect.
Yeah, it seems like if a little bit of that second groove really seemed to be hooked up for. As we were watching that battle with Andrew Rucker and Ely, Rucker on that top side able to hold on strong, but actually now as we say that Drunowski's getting into a rhythm and catching back up on Cisco, so we might see a battle for the lead here. But this has just been some wild racing here so far. Just a lot of kind of giving and or movers and shakers. It happens so fast here at Bristol. Again, about 14 seconds a lap around.
Bristol under the right circumstances back in the day. This is where you could see a lot of seesaw battles for the lead position, just with the way the draft works, the way the momentum works with the racetrack. A little too difficult to go into in terms of how it works, but boy, it's exciting as Cisco getting into getting into the wall a little bit there. It seems like everybody that's been up front at least once tonight has at least brushed the wall.
Yeah, it seems like you can get away with a little contact like Cisco's there, but I think when we seen Rasmus, and he's holding on to that 12 spot now after kind of falling back there a little bit. Obviously, his car's not running as well as it was before, but if you hit it probably too many times, that's when you get suspension damage, and then your car is going to handle not too nicely. It's going to be a handful at that point.
Tell you what, Fode, he's testing the waters on that third group up there. Of course, Bristol, a progressively banked track. About 22 degrees at the bottom, 24 in the middle, 26 up towards the top, I believe, is the numbers. So definitely an interesting track if you can make each and every line work. And again, this is the Bristol that was pre-PJ1 as well. So as we see the leaders in lap traffic. They
get around Daryl Canfield, who's scored 11 laps down, and they put Chad Frankenfield, obviously not up to speed after that wild ride on their last caution. He is now down 1 lap still having a little bit of issues for a leader, Kyle Cisco. So you hope.
Tell you what, though, he's doing a good job. Even the wheel straight.
Yeah, on track he's doing a good job, but this is again, it's the equivalent. iRacing's equivalent of a mechanical failure, and he's probably being told right now that he's blinking, and he's probably sitting there just like, oh man, just please don't, because it always happens when you're having probably one of the best runs, of your life is when the internet gremlins start coming out. So hopefully for Kyle, he can hang in there, because as we're nearing halfway already in this event, he's been holding a pretty wheel. Yep,
working lap number 48 now, and tell you what, though, Drunowski, he's really keeping tabs with him with Fode on his back bumper. And Brandon Wilkinson, despite his little slide back there, he's really keeping the leaders in his gun sights there as we are about to complete lap number 49.
This is very reminiscent of last week. I believe even behind him, Brandon Mandonia, that they were kind of doing the same thing at Iowa, as they were just kind of sitting there lurking in case something happened up front, and we've seen how quickly here tonight it can go from running smoothly to a wild wreck. So maybe these guys are just kind of playing it safe right now, as we see Fode going on the inside of Drunowski trying to go for that second spot.
Well, Fode, he was testing the outside line, but I think he might have been a bit of a feint, as now he switched to the inside, but some good defensive driving by Jernowski, and again, Cisco unable to get away from this pair.
Yeah, it's top four, pretty much running nose to tail for the most part. You see how quickly that Zeke Keeler there on the inside of the apron going another lap down. He's coming back on a track, 39 laps down. But yeah, like if you're here, a guy running in fifth, Mandonia, and see how far he is from that gap ahead of him. You see Wilkinson running on the outside, trying to make a move outside of Fody. How quick can he close that gap with the draft? Is there still some effects from the draft being that far back?
There is, but we're starting to get into the part of the races. We see a side-by-side battle. Oh, car up in the wall.
I think that was
Jernowski got into the outside wall. And he has, in fact, Wilkinson's been able to get by him as well. So Jernowski, with that one mistake, gets in the wall, and he slides all the way back to the fourth position.
We'll see if we can maybe get a replay quick to see exactly what happened there, because he got, I believe, wicked sideways as there was contact. And does a little wall ride. That's a quick.
He's trying to give Bodie some room there, so Bodie forcing Jernowski to make a mistake there.
Yeah, and again, for a guy who's relatively new to modified racing, open wheel racing in general, he even said it on Friday night that right here on ERN that he hasn't had much experience in these modifieds or the Indy cars, and he's picking it up really fast and forcing some guys to make a mistake. So, man, just playing mind games here.
Yep. But again, it'll be interesting to see again with this long green flag run. It's been a little over 30 laps now, as we have completed now 59 laps, now working lap number 60. So this time by, it's going to be 40 laps to go. Again, thank you for joining us on the Elite Racing Network tonight, along with Michael Goodman. I'm Connor Sullivan here for round 2 of the Maconi Setup Elite Modifieds. And we've got a good one here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle Cisco, currently the leader over last week's winner, Tyler Fody. But Fody and Brandon Wilkinson, the defending Elite Modified champion, are hot on his heels.
Yeah, it's been an awesome battle here up front so far. And I just got to say, with Maconi Setup Shop, thank you for coming aboard, making this series possible. Maconi Setup Shops, they're your home for iRacing setups, and they are there to help you becoming the best driver you can be. They offer any setup for almost any series on iRacing, and I never knew this. They also have driving coaching lessons. That's something I might have to hit up.
Well, I'll tell you, one guy that doesn't need any driving coaching lessons is Brandon Wilkinson, one of the hottest drivers on iRacing, of course, making great rounds in the spotters world as well in real life. And tell you what, Wilkinson, I think he might have been saving his tires back there for the first half of the race, but no longer. He is at it with these two for the top position, as he's trying to make that crossover move. That's the thing about Bristol, is you gotta work this little thing that's called gravity there to get you that little extra speed off the corners.
He's trying to get that run, kind of arc and diamonding the corner, trying to get that good run off, and just maybe testing the waters. At Cisco, gets a little squirrely coming off the corner. Thought maybe he was going to lose it, as they are approaching lap traffic, and ahead of them, that'll be the 021 of Eric Stout. See if he'll play a factor in this battle for the lead. But, just talking about Fody playing mind games on Jernowski just a little bit ago, I think maybe the master, at least in this series, has got to be Brandon Wilkinson with the mind games. And even just knowing, he's lost a little bit of ground on those lead two, but knowing that he's in your rear bumper, that's got to be like the old school days of seeing Dale Earnhardt in that black number 3 behind you, and seeing that black 56 in a modified here in iRacing.
Yeah. Yep, and hopefully you're not the one who's called Terry Labonte at the end of that one. So, but I'll tell you what, though, I think Cisco, he's getting a little squirrely out there. Might have been a little hard on the tires, but Bodie, he's got his hands full right now, as he knows Wilkinson's right behind him, and he is not willing to wait much longer. As
Cisco goes on pit road.
I think he might have gotten out of shape.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is intentional.
Yeah, that was interesting. Kind of got loose, and he will surrender the lead to
Just like
Or
that.
maybe this is scheduled stops because we see Wilkinson on pit road as well.
It might be. So, yeah, they might. I don't know if they have enough fuel to make it the whole way.
So that maybe
might
could
be
have been the issue, but see Fody still staying out as most of our top 5 have come down pit road. So how long can Fody go before he runs out of fuel or has to come down for pit road?
Yeah, we're going to see there. He might be, tell you what, if he can wait and he gets a yellow flag here, he'll have a lot of guys trapped a lap down, but he can't wait any longer as he's very hot coming into the pits.
Man, these modifieds look like they're having a heck of a time trying to get on pit road. So that's
in modifieds you never have green flag pit stops.
Yes,
Usually at Bristol you'd have a competition yellow back in the NASCAR days, in order to make it to the end of these races. Of course, those were 150 laps, but yeah, I guess by the rules here, you didn't have enough fuel to make it the whole way. Again, we did have those 3 early yellows, but we've been leading green here for 40 laps as we now will have 25 laps to go.
So now I'm going to be curious here that some of these guys, like our current leader here, Ray Fataruso and Thomas Capuano, they've been on pit road under some of these cautions early on in this event. And, now that we're nearing 20 laps to go, can they make it? Can they pull an upset victory here? We haven't mentioned these guys, these 2 names all night long. They've inherited the lead with these green flag pit stops, and it could be smooth sailing, especially like you said, if a yellow flag does come out. There's only 3 cars right now on the lead lap. The 61 of Brian Kramer is in 3rd. He's 11 seconds back of these 2, and right now this is your battle for the lead.
And these guys got 2 laps on these guys, so my goodness, they might have been able to pull off a major coup in this race, if that's true here.
And I can't blame a lot of the leaders for maybe not pitting earlier in this event because the way it was looking,
not at all.
Yeah, the cautions were coming out, and this has been our longest green flag run, and it's kind of a gamble you take, and it's usually about the time when you're like, oh, maybe next caution I'll pit. That's when you get the green flag run and kind of hampers your strategy here. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting though. That last yellow was just short of lap 25, so it's gonna be close. Considering how far we saw on the guys that did not pit go.
So I'm wondering, if these guys are maybe even trying to save just a little bit, but
I'll tell you what, Thomas Capuano, he is not saving a drop of fuel right now as he is going after Fataruso for the lead.
Yeah, as he tried to make a look, maybe thought the better of it, maybe thinking, maybe a little early just to see if we can make it, but Capuano, he's been down pit road according to my timing and scoring sheet here that he came down pit road twice. So at least for sure he's pitted probably under our second caution, and Fataruso, he is pitted 1 time, so I'm not sure when he came down pit road because there was a slew of drivers even under that first caution. But see, even it's fresh tires though.
Yeah, what's going to be interesting to see is that you're going to see all the guys that have just pitted. They're going to be blowing by them on these fresh tires, but again, they have such a large gap now just because of how long it takes for them to pit. We see Fataruso get in the wall. He's way down the inside as he gets into Capuano. They are side by side, even for the lead.
Man, you don't want to wreck that huge lead that you have, but these guys are flirting with it. But Capuano will get the run on the outside and take over
Wilkinson, he's trying to get one of his laps back.
Yeah, and it looks like he'll be able to get by relatively quick here, but with those 2 battling for the lead, you got to be careful. And
Boy, I'll tell you what, but Chad Frankenfield is the first car 1 lap down right now, so I was about to say there's a yellow.
Although this could be a battle for position here quick for the lucky dog if a caution does come out.
There is Frankenfield, so
he's gonna
Wilkinson, boy, if he gets a yellow here, he'll be able to get the free pass. And oh man, talk about a different game here. But again, that's it. There is the yellow flag.
Capuano getting into Frankenfield. Frankenfield goes up in the wall. We've seen him just not quite up to speed after getting in that wreck, holding up your leaders.
And Bonarusso takes the lead.
Takes the lead back, and man, these guys are battling right in the middle of lap traffic right now as some of these guys on fresh tires trying to get the laps back. There's some damaged cars holding up Capuano as he's going to lose major ground to the 26, now almost a second behind. But,
and
man.
we got 10 laps to go, but these top 2 cars, they have nothing left on their tires, and they are paying the price for it right now, but they've got over a lap lead for fight. Oh, man, there isn't another yellow flag. And the yellow is out.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So that's going to be interesting, and see if we can find who was involved in this one. As man, oh, man. That's gonna change things up, and maybe what those 2 guys wanted to see. It's gonna be interesting, as I'm gonna try to see if I can find what brought out that latest yellow. But if you're one of those leaders, do you take tires, or because you might get Wilkinson will be on the lead lap, so you probably want to take tires for that. But a lot of other guys 2 laps
Definitely
down.
Yeah, I definitely take tires, especially considering you got these guys trapped a lap down, because if you don't, you are a sitting duck on this restart.
Oh, as we see, one of the cars is 61. Oh, we got, get back here. 61 of Brian Kramer as he was trying to hang on those old tires. It's like Paul.
Oh, that is Brandon Pauls, who got into the back of him, started that wreck, and ends up on his lid. Can't say I'm surprised about that one.
Oh, man.
Because Brandon Paul, one of my Speed 51 colleagues.
I was just gonna say, Brandon, why did you leave that door open for Connor to to make fun of you? So now,
Bonarusso and Capuano on pit road, and the leader is going to go back to Wilkinson.
Well, he might have to go to the tail end anyway once we get closer to the green flag. I'm assuming it's similar to the NASCAR rules. So
perhaps. But either way, he's definitely back in the mix, though.
He's going to be in the mix, and these guys, just to see, I think you're looking at Wilkinson running a faster lap out of those 2. So if he stays close, and Fadaruso ran pretty relatively similar time, just a couple hundredths off of what Wilkinson's best time was of the night, that he maybe will be able to hold on, but we'll see how that goes. Capuano about a 10th off, as he's still on pit road. He lost a lap on pit road, so
yeah, something. He might have gotten some more damage than we originally thought.
Yeah, so it's only gonna be 2 cars on the lead lap, so Fadaruso is gonna inherit the lead back. And
but
Wilkinson will start behind him, but it's gonna be
Fadaruso's gonna have the newer tires.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a fun shootout here. I think that we're in for a treat to see who can win. And we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. That one car you might not want to see in your rearview mirror is Wilkinson, even on the older tires. He's gonna pull out all the cards to.
It's not like they're super old tires either.
No, yeah, they're not older, a little bit older tires. Yeah, he's gonna dig hard, and he only needs it to stick for probably roughly about 2 to 3 laps here. Green flag
see the
action.
cars get the wave around. So it looks like Bonarusso going to take the outside line. Wilkinson's going to go the inside. So the rest of the field is going to catch up here as we see Frankenfield up in the 3rd. But again, he's a lap down. So it is very much a 2-horse race here as the pace car is going to drop down. 4 laps to go. And we are not going to go green. What in the world?
Interesting. I noticed the pace car's lights were on as it was going down pit road. They might have waved the green flag off, or they might not have had the field properly set up.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. Is they're letting some cars go by right now. What? That was very strange. As we see Wilkinson dropping back. The lights are off now. What in the world is going on here?
This is very interesting. Is now Fadaruso is dropping back.
There may be more wave around cars. Boy, this is very unusual here. I know.
And
I've And now the green is out.
The green flag's back out, and here's our battle for the lead. As a very confusing start there, as Fadaruso is trying to hold on to that lead, but Wilkinson's going to be on the inside. But all those cars that were able to go by, oh man,
Wilkinson's going to have a pick here. Is there 3 wide in lap traffic?
Oh man, in the middle of lap traffic. Fadaruso looks like he'll able to get the lead back, but Wilkinson not going to give up without a fight as we're coming down to the white flag.
Boy, Fadaruso really working lap traffic there as we see Wilkinson diving to the inside. Fadaruso, though, I think the new tires are going to pay off here. He's going to move towards turns 3 and 4. There's the checkered flag, and Ray Fadaruso is your winner at Bristol.
How about that? Didn't mention his name all night long until green flag pit stops were made, inherited the lead, able to hold off Capuano, and now Wilkinson, he was able to hold off at the end. He did get the benefit of fresh tires and able to pull into victory lane as he burns it down for his first win in the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modified Series. Wow, just crazy.
That was a little confusing. Again, I was very surprised that everybody came down for fuel because, just in the real world, you should be able to make it 100 laps on fuel, but I guess the rule's a little bit different here as we see Fadaruso, your winner, Wilkinson second, and Bodie, despite being a lap down, able to have a good points tonight, though. He'll come away with third position over Andrew Rucker and Chad Frankenfield, your top 5.
Yeah, and how about Frankenfield ending up with 5th place with a car that is maybe running like 3/4 speed at best. So a lot of I guess confusion is maybe the best word for it after that wild finish. So maybe one of the drivers, once we get them in for their interviews, can maybe clear up what happened on that final restart. As it didn't even look like Fadaruso and Wilkinson were ready for the final restart there.
I think anybody was ready for the restart. To tell you the truth,
it was very confusing, and Fody, I think able to be one of the last cars to finish on the lead lap from that confusing wave around, whatever you want to call that. He did finish 14 seconds behind our race winner, Fadaruso. But interesting. Even some of the guys that finish in your top 10, it's Capuano 4 laps down. Walgren was in 10th. He was 7 laps down. So a lot of cars with damage and limping around up there. It was crazy.
Yep. Just a little bit of confusion, but hopefully we'll be able to get some clarifications before too much longer. But tell you what, though, Bristol delivered a great race as we saw the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour back in the day. And while we're waiting to get those guys in the chat here for post-race interviews, give you some more history lessons here, as there were 10 NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour races run at Bristol, and we had 9 different winners over the year. Diane Leah won the first one back in 2009. Then Ryan Newman won in 2010, 2011. He was the only 2-time winner there. Then you had Ronnie Silk in 2012, the late Mike Stefanik in 2013, Tommy Barrett in 2014, Ryan Preece with his big win in 2015, Eric Goodale in 2016, Patrick Emmerling in 2017, and then Justin Bonsinger won the final edition in 2018. Then that was the year he went on to win his first NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour Championship.
Oh, awesome. That's and one of our elite alum here is he's raced in the Modified Series here.
Who we're going to be seeing in a few weeks, I believe.
Oh, nice. So he'll make his triumphant return. But we do have at least our second place finisher. He's the kind of only one here to show up for our only ones who wants to talk to us, I guess, today. Is Brandon Wilkinson. And Brandon, a little bit of confusion on that final restart. I don't know if you want to walk us through here. Did you maybe have anything for Fadaruso there at the end?
Not with his fresh tires, no way. Just kind of frustrating. I feel like I could have played the strategy better. We could have come down earlier, but of the guys that race to win there at the end, we definitely had the right strategy. It just didn't work out, but it's just how it goes sometimes.
I guess it just came down to Everybody expecting there to be at least one more yellow after those 3 early O's in quick succession.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's really hard to give up, second or third when you have a good long run deal. I did a long run in practice and was really happy with the tire wear. So it's just really hard to give up that track position, with 80 laps to go. So maybe just need to be a little more mature next time and just come to the back and fill it up, and you're good for the rest of the way. But yeah, it is what it is. Just didn't execute on the strategy part, but we were pretty good tonight, so I'm okay with that.
Now, I got to ask you, maybe you can clarify. So there was a lot of confusion for me and Connor up here in the booth that it seemed like the one green flag was waved off, and then the field got to go around you, and it looked like even neither you or Fadaruso were ready there for the final start. What was what was going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think because I was the wave around, and then Chad waved it off like as we were coming to the green, that it put all the wave around cars in front of us, and I don't know. Ray dropped to the back. I don't know if he did that because he wanted to race or what, but no, kudos to him. Obviously, he played the strategy right and kept his stuff in one piece tonight, and did a good job. So he deserves that win. I don't, because I didn't execute early on. But yeah, it's just just one of those deals, I guess, where when you're the wave around car, you're supposed to go to the back, but with the wave around cars, it just got confusing. So I think it just messed the system up, and it was what it was. And I don't know if Ray dropped back because it told him to, or if he wanted to race, but yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, well, Brandon, of course, this is a busy time of year, both on iRacing and in the real racing world. Got to ask, for your spotting schedule, what do you got coming up?
Obviously, tomorrow at Thompson with Chris Pastriak, and then Friday Stafford, Saturday Riverhead with Kyle Bonsignor, and then Sunday at Hudson with Derek Luchacki and Angelo Belcito. So it's a pretty low-key schedule at home this weekend. Don't get to do those often, especially this year with all the travel. So really looking forward to going to bed here shortly and getting up and realizing that it's race day on Wednesday. Also, we're going to make our debut in a real race car in the next couple weeks there at the Waterford Speedway in the truck division. So really excited for that. We might go test on Thursday and see how it all goes, but it kind of just came together really fast. So really excited for that and looking forward to running out the rest of the year here, obviously.
All right. Again, awesome run here. I guess I'll even open the floor before we let you go and go to bed, get ready for the real world race and spotting tomorrow. Any shout-outs you want to give here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. For the last 3 years, Drew Krybeck and Epic Media has funded the bill to race this series, and Chad does a great job and does the best that he can with it. So I just want to thank everybody at Epic Media for all the continued support, Cody Thompson for the paint scheme, everybody at Alpha Performance, Anthony Campy Racing, and then obviously you guys for broadcasting. Congrats to Ray. He's a good person and a good friend, and it's good to see him have some success. So feel bad for Kyle on that pit road deal, and it is what it is. We'll take second, especially at Bristol. It's a pretty rough place. So we'll get out of here and go to Watkins Glen.
All right, we'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll see you back in Victory Lane here in the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modified Tour here. And again, congratulations on second place, and see you next week.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, Connor.
Yep, see you tomorrow, man.
And that was Brandon Wilkinson, only guy showing up for interviews. As man, I guess to sum up tonight here, Connor, it's almost like typical Bristol, especially when you're racing under the lights. I mean, there had to be a full moon out here because there was a lot of, early on, just the wild crashes that we've seen. Something we never expected to see in a fuel mileage or pit strategy race. And kind of the craziness on the final restart. I think we had it just about every oddity checked off here tonight.
Yeah, my goodness. Definitely unexpected, especially when you had that green flag run, everybody being forced to make pit stops under green, and then everybody getting trapped a lap down. Well, almost everybody, with Brandon Wilkinson, who was really on it just to get the free pass to get back on the lead lap. But got to give it to Ray Fadaruso, though. Yes, he had the fresh tires, but he threaded the needle a couple of times through there to get the job done. So great job. But definitely to repeat what Wilkinson was saying, definitely a big sticker for Kyle Sisko, who ran really a masterful race until he kind of got bitten in the rear end by a botched pit strategy.
Yeah, kind of sliding down pit road. Maybe even got a penalty there too. Not quite sure, but yeah, it's been a wild night. Father Russo, awesome to see a fresh name in the elite racing competition being able to get into victory lane, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from him moving forward. But with that, I think we'll wrap up tonight's broadcast. Again, you can check us out here on the Elite Racing Network next week. Same time, 7:50 p.m.
Yep,
It'll be Watkins Glen.
And by the way, if you want to see some real world modified racing this week, again, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, speed51.tv will be live from Thompson Speedway.
Oh yeah, don't want to miss that for sure. Awesome track to watch modified racing for sure. And even even here on the Elite Racing Network tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. will be the Days Gone By Vintage Apparel Championship race. The championship will be decided for our Elite JoinAPS.com Cup Series. So be sure to tune in right here, same place, different time tomorrow night. But with that, for Connor Sullivan, I'm Mike Goodman. Thank you all for tuning in for the Maconi Setup Shop Elite Modified Tour, the Bristol 100. And next week we'll head to Watkins Glen. Good night.